Back to the Edison and Stussy conversation, Stussy replied, "That's good to hear. I was worried that Stella would never forgive me if I let them get caught," Edison answered. "As if, now get your ass out of there," Stussy replied. But I don't know what to do with myself. Now that Stella is gone, who am I meant to live for? I have no purpose." This profound statement startled Kaku and Edison. Meanwhile, the battle at some other location on the island gets more intense and hotter. Kashin and Sanji was knocked down badly by Saint Nusjuro, one of the elders. Relentlessly, Omoi caught Nusjuro by the tail, pulling him backwards for Bonnie to strike a decisive attack. Nusjuro sensed this and intercepted. Filled with hate and rage, Nusjuro shouted, "Bonnie!" He unsheathed his sword, and with raging speed of fire, he slashed Bonnie. In a nick of seconds, Frankie was able to protect Bonnie from the attack by pushing her out of the way. The attack was so strong that it destroyed the giant pirate ship head and topsail shafts in a twinkle of an eye. Despite all these, Vegapunk broadcast continues to spill the beans, declaring publicly that the Void Century ended with Joyboy's defeat. Like a loose cannon and madness, Nusjuro dashed for the Labo stratum, flying in the air. He shouted with bitterness and deep-rooted anger. "How much do you intend to say? Huh, Vegapunk?" Sensing too many life forms on the Labo stratum, with one absolute strike, he slashed the entire stratum in two. It was so powerful that everybody quaked in fear at the sight of the attack. The CP9 agents were shocked as the strike tore open the facility where they were held captives. The Seraphim surprised as everyone fell down to the Fabrio stratum with great fear for their lives. Nevertheless, Vegapunk message kept spreading to the entire world, the heart of people racing, and the elders frustrated. Vegapunk declares, "After Joyboy's death, the aftermath had grander consequences. The wake of the ancient conflict scarred the world, and those scars can never be healed." Vegapunk continues, "We all know that travels between islands can be excruciatingly difficult. The seas one must traverse are so vast and perilous, most people are content to live and die at their place of birth, never experiencing any culture other than their own." Commoners at a remote village watching this commented with a boorish response. "Isn't that a bit obvious?" Another answered. "Yeah, ha ha ha. Everyone knows the seas are dangerous." Vegapunk continues, "That's a common knowledge to us now, but it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago. In fact, a cataclysmic ecological disaster occurred during the Void Century. The world of a millennia ago sleeps, unseen, at the bottom of the ocean." This profound statement shook the entire world, as reactions from Kawabaka Queendom were like, "Hey, say what?" Sabo also shocked. Vegapunk speaks, "I know it's hard to believe on my words alone, but there really were multiple vast continents back then." At Nami's hometown, people were unsettled with this latest news and called it insane. But Nojiko left the town square to go check on her tangerine orchard. This time, the news was getting hotter as Vegapunk was about to release the biggest secrets of them all, he said. The cataclysmic ecological disaster that occurred helped explain how a century worth of history could be censored. A feat that seems nigh impossible, but it makes sense when you consider the undeniable conclusion that all the data points to, within a mere century, the average sea level rose by a staggering 200 meters. Those words indeed shook the entire world. Reactions sprang up from everywhere. The Marines were like, "What? Are you kidding me? 200 meters? A warship is only 60 meters tall." No wonder the old world disappeared. Quickly, a Marine captain intercepted that response from his men and told them, "Hey, stop listening to that crap. We have work to do." The Seraphims and all those imprisoned Cypher Pole's agents were spotted falling out of the lab's building. We've got to rescue them. Meanwhile, at Pirate Island, Hashinosu, the people burst into an uncontrollable laughter, calling Vegapunk a comedian and an old fart that has completely lost his marbles. At Sakura's kingdom, Chopper hometown, they marveled, saying, "Is that really possible?" Dr. Kureha laughed. Even now, the world still find a way to keep things interesting. Ha 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 ha. Some of the residents of Sakura Kingdom marveled at Vegapunk reports and compared it to a nearby mountain. Pointing at it, they said, "That mountain is around 200 meters. You are saying that something that tall would be submerged? That's awful. How many people died?" Finally, for this chapter, Vegapunk continues his speech. That begs the question, how and why did such a flood occur? Naturally, your first inclination might be to assume it was some kind of natural disaster. However, I can say for certain that it was no such thing. It was a man-made calamity. Morgan from Wii News shouted in discontent, "What? You can't be serious?" Quickly, Princess Vivian stopped him so that she can hear what Vegapunk have to say. Vegapunk continues. If this catastrophe was brought by natural means, there would be records, demoting early warning signs several centuries earlier. It was a severe world-altering event after all. But all my research into meteorology, geology, ecology, and atmospheric science confirmed that there were no such buildup. It is impossible for a drastic change to happen simultaneously within the span of 100 years, meaning that the cause lies elsewhere. My suspicions were confirmed a few days ago when I analyzed the world current sea levels. About to make a bold, resounding statement, Vegapunk declares, "This will be hard to accept, but the disaster 800 years ago was caused by ancient weapons technology, capable of sinking the world. And that very same firepower still exists, just waiting to be used again. In other words, the Great War, which ravaged the world during the Void Century, still exists." The chapter finally ends as the 5 elders and Emu are not happy about this broadcast. But what more can they do to a dead man? The cat is out of the bag and the world will definitely turn upside down after this. Don't miss out on any of the chapters when it's released. Subscribe to my channel now, hit the notification bell, and strap in for more adventure of One Piece.